He fires a rifle before thousands, chanting songs of revolution. He is hailed as a hero by his followers and denounced as a threat by his opponents. His words reach the White House and get him banned from a world power. Now, a court of law has finally declared him guilty. But he is not backing down. This is more than a story about a gun. This is a battle for the soul of a nation. This is the trial of Julius Malema. In this video, we will unravel the dramatic courtroom verdict that has shaken South African politics. We will go back to the incendiary moment that started it all, delve into the badge of honor defiance from the courthouse steps, and expose the deep racial and political tensions this case has ignited. We will also look ahead, analyzing what a potential prison sentence could mean for Malema, his party, and an entire country on edge. Stay with us. The scene was the East London Magistrates Court on October 1st, 2025. After a prolonged legal battle, Magistrate Toinette Olivier delivered a verdict that had been 7 years in the making. Julius Malema, the fiery leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, was found guilty on all 5 counts related to the unlawful discharge of a firearm. The charges were severe: unlawful possession of a firearm and ammunition, discharging it in a public space, and reckless endangerment. These are not minor offenses. They fall under South Africa's strict Firearms Control Act and carry a potential minimum sentence of 15 years in prison. But the drama inside the courtroom was only the beginning. The real spectacle unfolded outside. To the roaring cheers of his supporters, Malema did not express remorse. Instead, he framed the conviction as a political attack. He declared, and I quote, "As a revolutionary, going to prison or death is a badge of honor. We cannot be scared of prison. We cannot be scared to die for the revolution." He immediately vowed to fight the judgment all the way to the highest court in the land, the Constitutional Court, labeling the magistrate's decision as faulty and driven by racism. In a stunning twist, he pointed to the acquittal of his co-accused, his former bodyguard, Adrian Snyman, as proof of a conspiracy, asking, "They said accused number 2 gave me the firearm. Now they are releasing him. Why are you not releasing me?" To understand the weight of this verdict, we must go back to the source. July 28, 2018. The EFF was celebrating its 5th anniversary at the Sisa Dukasi Stadium in Mandanse, filled with an estimated 20,000 supporters. On that stage, in a moment captured forever on video, Julius Malema took a semi-automatic rifle and fired multiple shots, reports suggest between 14 and 15 live rounds into the air. His defense in court, that the firearm was a mere prop and that he had fired the shots to rouse the crowd. The magistrate, however, saw through this, ruling that the rifle was indeed real and that the authenticated video evidence was undeniable. But who brought this case to court? The push for prosecution came not from the state alone, but from a determined civil rights organization called AfriForum. This Afrikaner lobby group has a long and contentious history with Malema and the EFF. They opened the case against him after the video went viral. AfriForum hailed the guilty verdict as a major victory for equality before the law. Their spokesperson, Jacques Brudrick, stated the evidence overwhelmingly proved Malema committed several serious offenses. The verdict confirms those who think they are untouchable will be held accountable no matter how long it takes. For them, this case was a cornerstone in their broader campaign to ensure that politically connected individuals are not above the law. The firearm case cannot be viewed in isolation. It is a single explosive chapter in the long saga of Julius Malema's controversial career. Less than 2 months before this conviction, he was found guilty of hate speech by South Africa's Equality Court for remarks where he said, "You must never be scared to kill." His political platform is built on the expropriation of white-owned land without compensation, and he often uses inflammatory rhetoric, including the chant, "Kill the Boer, kill the farmer," which was sung by his supporters outside the courthouse moments after his conviction. His impact stretches far beyond South Africa's borders. Earlier this year, U.S. President Donald Trump played a video of Malema's speeches during a meeting with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, using it as so-called evidence to support his widely discredited claim of a white genocide in the country. And just a month later, Malema was denied entry to the United Kingdom, with the Home Office declaring his presence was non-conducive to the public good. Back home, the reaction to his conviction was sharply divided. While his supporters see him a martyr, politicians like Ian Cameron of the Democratic Alliance welcomed the verdict, stating that Malema demonstrates exactly the kind of thuggery the EFF is prepared to unleash on South Africa. So what happens now? The court has set a date, January 23, 2026, for sentencing. Malema faces the possibility of a lengthy prison sentence. Legal expert Ulrich Rue believes there is a good chance Malema could serve time, noting that he will now have to present evidence to show why the court should deviate from the minimum 15 years sentence. Furthermore, South African law states that anyone sentenced to more than 12 months in prison without the option of a fine cannot serve as a member of parliament. This means Malema's political career hangs in the balance. However, it is crucial to note that this disqualification only takes effect once the entire appeal process is exhausted, a fight Malema has already promised to wage. Despite the legal peril, Malema's message to his party was clear. It is business as usual. Never mind this nonsense. Let's go and build our organization. He urged his followers to focus on the upcoming local government elections, framing the EFF as the only true alternative for South Africa. The conviction of Julius Malema is a watershed moment. It is the story of a single gunshot that echoes through courtrooms, across international borders, and deep into the fractured heart of South African society. It pits the rule of law against revolutionary fervor, and accountability against political ambition. The sentencing in January will not be the end. The appeal process promises a prolonged legal war. The political battle for the soul of South Africa, with Malema as a central incendiary figure, is far from over. If you want to stay informed on the dramatic conclusion of this story and other gripping tales of power, politics, and justice around the world, make sure to follow this channel. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. The world is watching. Will you?